how we feel about ourselves, we get it on performance. How does that relate to money then? Let's start by asking the question, what is money? Both positive and negative, if you would, in the chat. What is money? I'm not just the nature of positive or negative, that's true. But what is money? We're all tens exactly at the stage that we are at. I love that. Thanks so much. If only, yep. It's fiat. Cool. Fiat currency, I'm with you, Eric. It's freedom. It's paper. It's relief. It's time. Man, how can money be all these different things to different people? It's okay. So those seems like positive things. What about negative things? Have you ever heard negative thoughts? Maybe you don't think negative thoughts, but what are some negative things about money? Rich, it's a tool. I'm with you. Management of money. Mm-hmm. What about, have you ever heard or thought negative thoughts around it? Okay. It's controlling. Money is controlling. More, Costas, I love it. More problems. More money, more problems. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. What else? Let's brainstorm a little bit, because we got to bring this out so we can address it. Money is, and just fill in the blank on the negative. I know we want positive stuff. You don't want to speak it into existence. It's okay. We're just doing it temporarily, I promise. Only corrupt people have it. Okay, cool. Let's go with this. So start there. Only corrupt people have it. Now, I don't necessarily think you guys were stretching for this, perhaps, or were hesitant to say that. So perhaps these aren't your concerns, but these are things you've heard other people say. That's fine. If someone has that, thank you so much, Stephen. You got it. Stephen Moon says it's the root of all evil. If we have in our psyche at some level that only corrupt people have it, that it's controlling, mo money equals mo problems, that it's the root of all evil, will that negatively impact our relationship to wealth and abundance? What do you guys think? Based on what, right? It's just in there. It's going to impact it. Oh, I got to have money, but not too much money because I don't want to be an evil person. And we can sabotage ourselves. By the way, the whole concept, the root of all evil, is closed. That's what people say, Stephen. And there's one more level to that. It's not just that money is evil or that's the root of all evil. The original phrase is the love of money is the root of all evil, which is a little bit more accurate, which is fair. I mean, I don't think we should necessarily love money. Like some of you said, it's a tool, it's a vehicle, it's a way that we exchange value, and it does some valuable things. What did we have before we had money, before we had our fiat currency? What did we actually have before money? Way back, millennia ago. How do we get things, how do we get business done back then? Our word, fancy rocks, Eric. Eric, I love it. That's true. We did have fancy rocks. We had gold. Now before we had fancy rocks, wampum, spice. That's so true. But what did we do with spice? We traded it. Correct. In other words, we bartered for our services. Isn't that right? So we had bartering prior to a storing of value, which we had with the fancy rocks and the gold and wampum. So we bartered. Bartering. Now we're never really going to go back to bartering, and that's okay. But it did something pretty cool. If I wanted to, let's take a look at Mike. You said trade, and actually so did Stephen Adaro. Mike, where's Mike? Let me take a look at Mike. Mike, tell me what you do, Mike. Yeah, what do you do, Mike?
I oversee warehouse install and sales for an HVAC plumbing company.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's say that I'm in need of some of those. I need someone to oversee my work as well, but I want you to consult with me on what you do so I can help train my guys and all that kind of stuff like that. I want what you have, and you're interested in NLP coaching or NLP training. That's what I have. Cool. As long as you have what I need and I have what you need, can we potentially negotiate a deal?
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially, right? As long as I have enough of what you need and you have enough of what I need, we can find some harmony to make that happen. Now, let's say that you don't need NLP training. You're already in this mastermind. You're working with Steve. You're good to go on training development. But what you really want is I don't know, let's say bananas, right? You love bananas and you're having a hard time getting like plantain bananas and you really love plantain bananas for whatever reason.
Electric Bronco.
You need an electric Bronco. Now, I don't have an electric Bronco, but as long as I can go to Joe and get his electric Bronco and trade with him and get that for you, thanks, Joe, for bringing that electric Bronco concept in with your conversation earlier today. If I can trade with someone to trade with me to trade with you, then we can make it work. So that's really not a good way to run an economy. Can we agree with that, Mike?
Agreed.
Yeah, it's very inefficient. So that's why we say, okay, we went to coins, and before that we had rocks and shells and even rugs and tapestries and things like that, until finally we actually have dollars, right? We have paper, it's plastic, we have metal, cloth, fabric in there, I think as well. So all these things. And now what happens is we've externalized something. Because back in the day, like you said, potentially, Mike, which I loved. So I want what you have, you want what I have, but maybe you don't need what I need. You don't need what I have as much as I really want what you have. If at the end of the day, I can't convince you that my NLP training is going to be helpful for you, we don't get a deal, I walk away, who do I blame for not getting the sale if only myself? Does this make sense? I have to look myself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I didn't get to negotiate with Mike and get what I wanted, which is his consulting, because I didn't value myself enough, or I didn't communicate my value enough to others, to Mike specifically. Is this making sense? Thumbs up, yes? Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. So I blame myself. The only way I'm going to improve my ability to get what I want is to value myself more and improve my communication. If I can do that, next time Mike and I talk, I'll say, oh, I've been working on my training and I'm so congruent. My belief in myself is the currency. That is it. If I don't believe myself, the value, your perceived value of me goes down in relation to that. Now we fast forward 1970s, we shifted over to a fiat currency. Now it's not even really backed by gold that floats in the economy and all that. So now I can blame something. If I don't get the consulting that I want from Mike, oh, it's because I didn't have enough money to pay him. I look at my neighbors who have a bigger house, a bigger car, they do more trips, all that type of stuff. And the only reason I can't have those things is because I don't have money. Ooh, the money is the problem. Because, oh, that's right, they told me when I was a kid growing up that money is the root of all evil. Only corrupt people have money. And now I'm blaming money versus becoming empowered by shifting my own mindset. Are you guys all connecting with this? This is making sense? Yeah. So if we want a better relationship with money, we want to change our relationship with ourselves. So money is essentially whatever we decide to believe that it is. If you believe it is evil, you will find that. If you believe it is a tool and it is useful and it is an exchange of value, you will find that too. If you believe it is that money is your birthright. I don't know if you guys are Grant Cardone fans, and I don't know if he's pretty extreme, like sales guy for me, but he walks into a room and he says, he thinks to himself, okay, who in this room has my money? Okay, that's a different relationship with money than most people is like, oh, I hope that I can get a sale and deal here. His belief in himself is definitely through the roof for sure. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing is probably a personal thing. So we want to choose wisely as to what money means to you, because then that begins to shift our relationship with it. So we already went through that. We had bartering. Bartering is where value is determined internally. Currency is where value is determined externally. How we shift our relationship with money is we go back to valuing ourselves, changing how we view ourselves. When you change the way you look at things, everything you look at changes.